What's good, y'all? We got a video for video games aren't fun anymore. This is a topic that's been going around for a long time. A lot of people have been experiencing this thing about like reaching like feeling that games are not fun no more. So let's review it, bro. Let's see.
Video games aren't fun anymore. It's a topic I've seen floated around a lot on the internet in recent years, and even more so since the world shut down. With more time to spend on playing video games than ever before, some people are coming to realize that they don't enjoy playing video games.
My bad, y'all.
It's a scary thing to come to terms with, accepting that a hobby you've enjoyed for as long as you can remember suddenly doesn't entertain you anymore. For a lot of people, it's even more disheartening because they've come to this realization after just managing to get the console or setup of their dreams. Things they strived for years ago are finally tangible and right in front of them, but they just don't have the drive or want to actually do and experience those things. These are things I had to come to terms with throughout the last 2 years. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Strixo, isn't it a bad idea to try and make a career out of making videos online about video games when you don't enjoy playing them anymore?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd agree. Not exactly the best decision. So let me explain a bit. I've been playing video games for as long as I can remember. I can remember the first time I held a controller in my hands vividly. The sheer...
Let me think. The first time I held a controller in my hand. Oh, bro, I'm getting back to so many good memories, bro. The amount of good memories that I'm getting back to our old house and a lot of good stuff, bro. You know, yeah, I remember.
Size of the Duke way too massive for me at the time, but all that was just background noise in my head compared to the fresh sights and sounds of what is now my second favorite entry in my favorite franchise ever. Gaming during this time period was
a PS2.
limitless. I had no concept of developer or hardware restrictions, the limits of pre-generated responses from NPCs or content in the game to consume. Halo was an infinite universe to create in and experience. Spyro had no end to the amount of dragons I could rescue. Hell, I can remember using an action replay in Pokemon Platinum, using the walk through walls cheat, and accidentally finding Shaman at the end of this long path of flowers. Now, obviously, I grew out of this mindset eventually, especially after reading a bunch of magazines that delved into the specifics of games and interviewed developers on what they thought about their projects. Thank you, Game Informer. But my love for gaming never subsided.
I wasn't too deep
from
like
consoles
that.
after getting my first computer, and in 2016, I managed to save up enough money to buy the hardware of my dreams. With this, I could run any game on the market, and I used it to run a lot of games. Come early 2021, it was time
what this got?
game on the market.
Yes, it's actually graphics card about. Oh, that's
and
sick.
I used it to run a lot of games. Come early 2021, it was time for me to upgrade. And after managing to walk into a Best Buy and just randomly come across a 3090 that I wasn't even looking to buy at the time, I knew it was time to go all out. I managed to get a 5950X, the best motherboard I could buy at the time, and some sick RAM. There were no compromises to this system, besides the fans. I was running out of money. I built the computer, ran some benchmarks, and then didn't play any games. At first, I assumed I was just unmotivated, or maybe even burnt out. But over time, I came to realize that I just wasn't enjoying games anymore.
Bro,
I got scared.
This is Modern Warfare, right? Modern Warfare. Nah, this is Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare, bro. Bro, is this Modern Warfare Zombies? I forgot, but this Zombies, bro, it is lit. It is so enjoyable, bro. It's so fun.
All this money on a hobby I wasn't interested in anymore. Scared that the YouTube channel I wanted to start was already dead in the water. Scared that I'd be giving up a huge part of what formed my online identity. I calmed myself down and I took a step back. It makes sense that I'd start feeling this way about gaming. Doing pretty much anything every day for long enough would ultimately become mundane and boring. So I asked myself, what can I do to have fun with playing games again? For a while, I was stumped.
Modding,
but
maybe?
during my time, I decided to just take a break and work on my Ultra Kill video. And while that was technically still gaming, it was mostly for work, and I could take the time to figure out what I wanted to really do about my problem. What I found, though, is that as I was taking a break from playing games for the most part, my desire to play them started rising again. But once I actually managed to get into a game and started playing, my desire to continue playing them would immediately fall, and I'd get off of it within 30 minutes. What I came to realize is that I had no variety in what I was playing. I would get on my computer and boot up the same FPS games, or just open up Minecraft, which I've been playing for years as well. I decided to actually take the time and figure out other genres of games I could play, and I've never been happier for it. I realized that what I was experiencing overall wasn't me not finding games fun anymore, I just wasn't finding FPS games as interesting. Throughout 2021, I decided to take the effort to branch out into different video games. And what I learned was that I still enjoyed playing video games. I just needed a breath of fresh air. I played games like Forza Horizon, Monster Hunter, Ghost Runner, spent some time on Spyro, replayed Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, City Skylines, Dark Souls, Demon Souls.
Everything.
All of these games made me appreciate just playing games in general and reignited my love for the hobby. This peaked when Halo Infinite was released. For 6 years, I waited for a follow-up to Halo 5. I watched any lore video I could come across, scoured Reddit posts and Twitter threads that discuss what would happen in this game, and tried keeping up with the game as much as I possibly could. I've already talked about Halo a lot on my channel, so keep my bias in mind, but this game gave me hope for new releases. Did I have issues with Halo Infinite's campaign? Of course, but how good the gameplay was kept me from noticing them as much as I could have. It had been years since I had the feeling of pure joy and excitement that I had when I first played Halo Infinite on release day. And it was then that I realized that my love for gaming was back, the same as it was back then. And what it took was for me to step outside of my comfort zone and try things I would have never thought of. My plan for 2022 is to continue to play games I wouldn't have ever considered before, and I hope that I can convince other people out there to do the same. For the people who came to this video looking for a solution, I'm sorry to say I don't have one. I know that growing out of a thing you loved for so long is tough, and the fact that the child version of yourself could look at everything around you and scream about how you're not taking advantage of it is frustrating to know. But it's okay to not want to play video games anymore. No one's forcing you to do so, and I hope that whatever you're doing now can find you some sense of enjoyment. If you still want to play games but don't find yourself interested, all I can do is give you advice that worked for me. Step 1 is to just take a break. I know this sounds a bit sarcastic, but picking up new hobbies or even just engaging in different forms of entertainment can be fun and exciting. When I first picked up watching anime and films, I was almost overwhelmed by the sheer amount of options I had for things people considered timeless classics. Admittedly, I burned through a lot of the list, but I came out the other side with amazing experiences. I mean, have you seen Mob Psycho? The shit goes crazy. After you take a break, branch out. Play games you would have never considered before. Try new experiences. Sometimes all it could take is a fresh spin on a gameplay loop you've experienced 1,000 times over. I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I know this entire thing was a little different from what I usually upload, but I wanted to give an opinion on a topic I've seen recommended to me recently with a positive outcome. Consider clicking on an end screen to watch more of my videos, or subscribe.
Give y'all my intake, bro. I've been telling the whole video I wanted to reach the end so that I give my intake and I end the video, bro. You know why, my brothers, you know why you don't enjoy games no more, bro? It's because y'all going up. You feel me? Y'all going up. Y'all got responsibilities now. Y'all got college. Y'all got school. School is not easy no more. You gotta grind out to and I'm talking about school to pass. You feel me? And university too. You finish university now. You gotta work now. You gotta make the money. You come back home, bro. You don't got the energy to play games no more. You feel me? You feel like even when you're playing, you're not zoned in. You're not focused on the game. You're not enjoying the game. You're just like thinking about the outside world, thinking about how I'm gonna make that money, how I'm gonna do in that test. Oh, I don't got time to be playing. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. You feel me? Even if you finish with your college, now you gotta work. Finish with work now. You gotta now you think about having families and all of that and looking for a wife, and you know what I'm saying. Like you're growing up. Look, the whole thing about video games, bro. It was made for us kids when we were kids, bro. Video games are made for kids. That's why they're all colorful. That's why they all got a lot of cartoons, a lot of characters that we know when we used to watch up TV when we was young. All the ideas of having like heroes against villains, like all of these are like kids ideas. You feel me? Like stuff that will attract kids. That's why they attracted us. That's why we fell in love with them. That's why we were like so connected to playing games. But then you reach a point where like you grown. You don't feel like this is a necessity in your life no more. You feel me? You feel like you got a lot of stuff to be doing, and that's normal. And that's okay. If you feel like you want to play games, that's good. If you don't feel like, it's normal, and that's how it's supposed to be, because like you got a lot of other stuff to be doing. You feel me? Unless it's not a career for you, unless you're not like making it as your career, but having video games as your hobby, bro, it is fun, but it's truly consumes a lot of your time. And actually, if you don't enjoy it no more, it's because that is normal. You feel me? That is how it's supposed to be. That you're supposed to be doing a lot of other stuff. You feel me? But yeah, bro. See y'all.